Hey everybody, this is Kathy, Crowder's Mountain, North Carolina. Y'all ready to make a divided star? Now this pattern has been circulating around for a while, and it's called a divided star, and I saw it called divided star illusion. So that's the one that we're going to paint today. And now you can make it in any colors you want to. It doesn't have to be these colors, but I will show you what I used. Alright. So I've taped my paper down so that it won't go anywhere while I'm trying to show you the pattern. But the first thing we got to do is to find the center of our board. So the way I do that, especially if I'm going to draw lines across the center, which we are going to do that, I put my 24-inch ruler down, and I'm going to mark it at 12. And I'm going to mark it at 12 over here. Oh, the tape came off. Now, sorry about that. I'm going to mark it at 12. I'm going to mark it at 12 up here. Of course, y'all know I'm using paper just so I can show you guys the pattern. And I use heat erasable pens when I'm drawing it on my board. Alright, so we need to draw a 24-inch line straight down the middle of our board. And then we need to draw a 24-inch line straight across the center. Now that's the first two lines of our pattern. Alright, then the next thing we need to do, we need to find the center of these sections. Now, you could do it this way, and it works out pretty good. You could lay your ruler right here and say I've got 9 inches. So 4.5 inches would be the center. But the best way I've learned how to do that is with this arc. And you know, I've said this before, this is a 12-inch arc, and most of the time people can't find it on Amazon. But a 11-inch would do, or even a smaller one. You just need to make sure you can mark the center here so that you can get the line straight. So I'm going to line it up, and that's 0 to 90, so 45 is my center mark on each one of them. Alright, so you know how we drew these lines are 24 inches long. We're just going to put our ruler down, our 24-inch ruler or whatever you're using, 24, 36, but we're going to draw this 24 inches long as well. We're going to line them up with those lines that we just made. So if you had to do it across here, just line it up. If you did it with a ruler, just line it up and make sure it's lined up with the center here, and go all the way to 24. And then we're going to do that same thing here. So put it on 12, line it up with our tick marks. There you go. Now we need to find the center of each one of these now. Best way to do that, you know, you could do it this way with your ruler and it'll get it pretty close. But I like using my arc. And the center between 0 and 45 is 22 and a half. So there's 20. That's 25. So it's between 20 and 25 right here. And I'm just going to roll it on around this way so I know that I'm marking it at the same place each time. See what I'm doing? I could have done the math and I would not have had to move it, but I do the math. I don't want to do math if I don't have to. No, I'm kidding. This is just an easier way to show you. So you know that you're putting it in, putting your tick mark at 22 and a half each time. And we're going to go all the way around. You can see where I've been drawing on that. Let's see, we got them all the way around. Now what we need to do, these lines need to be 12 inches, half of these. So if you were doing a 36-inch star, these would be 36 inches and the short lines would be 18. But we're doing a 24, so it's 24 and half of that's 12. So we're just going to line our ruler back up with our dots. Can you see them? Let me make them a little darker so you can see them when you take a screenshot. And again, now if I hadn't said it already, you can take screenshots anytime. Like you might want to take that one, because there was your 24-inch lines, and we're going to start drawing 12-inch now. So I'm just going to put it on 12 right here. Line it up. So 12, I'm going to 6, and from 12, I'm going to 18. Yeah, that's 12. Had to count it. So I'm putting it on 12 again in the center, and lining it up with 18, well, the tick mark down here, and the tick mark here, and that's 12 inches. Do it one more time, or 2 more times. and put me on 12. And you want to get just as close in there as you can. See, I missed that one up by a little bit, but I didn't line it up right, did I? But you will. When you do yours, you will. Okay. So there's your 12-inch lines. So the next thing we want to do, we're just going to connect our lines together. So we're going to connect the short line to the long line. Now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, an 8-inch star. Now, and you could have just gridded it off and blocked it off, but what happens when you do that on these stars, a lot of times these look so choppy, where this one, if you're doing it by like a points, then it just flows better. Every one of them is the exact same width apart, but on a grid it would look more blocked off, which is pretty, but usually you do it the way you want to do it. That's what I say. Alright, then we're just going around now, connecting our long ones with the short ones. And through with this arc, I'm going to put it over here out of the way. And y'all know of most of the time, now, it won't be every time, but if you're trying to take a pattern up and upscale it to from like a 26 to a 36, a 24 to a 30, yeah, 24 to a 36, like half of 24 is 12. And if you add that back to 24, you get 36. So say your line is 9 inches long, half of that is 4.5. You just add that to the 9 to get 13.5, and that's how long that line would be on a 36, from a 24 to a 36. The line was 12, half of it's 6. So you add that to 12, you get 18, and that's how long that line would be. The 12-inch line would be 18 on the 36-inch board. One of these days I'll show you that, in case I didn't explain it good enough. All right, here we go now. Here's what we're going to do now. And I'm going to get a smaller ruler. Okay, you see every one of these lines? We've got to divide it in half. And every one of these lines has got to be divided in half. Each line, that's 12 inches. So I was trying to find the center of that. So I was marking it at 6. So here's my tick mark on all my lines is at 6. But not only that, for this divided star, see, that's what we were doing. We were finding the tick marks and making our lines. Now what we have to do, and we found the center. So that tick mark that we made in the center of these, there it is. Now we have to find the center of each one of our outside lines. So right here, I'm going to make a tick mark halfway on every line. So our line is 7 inches. So it's going to be at 3.5. So we're going to line them up and 3.5. You see how I'm doing that? I'm going all the way around. Some of them are not exactly on 7, but I'm still putting it at 3.5. I'm off by just a fraction. Trying to put that to where you can see it. So we're going to go all the way around, marking our line at 3.5. Now, is there another way to do this? I'm sure they are. This is the way I'm doing it. And this is the way I'm going to show you now. Okay, almost finished. Alright, so I went all the way around, found the center of each line at 3.5. You can take a screenshot of that. Now what we want to do, see if this will be dark enough. Alright, what we need to do now, wait a minute, am I done? I may not be done. Nope, still ain't done. See these lines here? These little short lines? 12-inch lines. Now we got to find the center of them. Alright, so they are 6 inches, so we're going to mark them at 3. I'm putting the end of my ruler where the 0 starts, right in the center. Got a lot of tick marks going on here. Almost done. One more. Okay, now we've got that done. We're done with our tick marks. Now we just need to start drawing some lines and pulling this thing together. Alright, so the first thing that we want to do is alright, let's go right here. See this first one down here? This tick mark on the left. We're going to try to line all 3 of them tick marks up. See it that way? And line them up. And let's do the same thing with that one. We got our 3 tick marks. We're lining them up. And that gave us this and this, this and this. See the cross, the X we made? Now don't worry about that yet. We're going to go around, we're going to mark every one of those. Tape is not wanting to stick. Alright, let's... And make sure it goes straight across now. If one, like I must have got that line a little bit off, but I'm going to measure them so that I know these lines are straight, because that's what's going to give you that illusion of that divided star. Alright, so now we've got our star here, and we've got these points here. See how they cross? That's what I was trying to say. See how they cross there? That's what you want. Alright, now see here is we're going to divide the white, and it's going to be a light white on one side and a dark white on the other side. Just a light and a dark color. Now I used a little off-white color on mine, because you want to see the separation. But now all you got to do now for here is just go from this point. Let me get another. Go from this point to that point and divide that triangle. See? Just divide those triangles all the way around. Go from point to point, dividing them all. And you've got your divided star. That's the line we're looking for, that last one. That right? Okay. So this was just 1/2 of that line and all the way around. Oh, really? Sorry. So you see what we did? We just divided every one of those. So we've got those diamonds divided. Now, I'll color in one so you can just take a screenshot of it. So you could use any color of blue or any color of anything you want. It don't have to be red, white, and blue like mine. Just whatever your favorite colors are. But put the dark one on the left all the way around. And I'm not going to color it all in. Just maybe 2 sections so you can see it. And then you're going to put the light blue or whatever on the right. And that's about the 2 craziest shades of blue you ever saw together. I'm just digging in my crayon box, y'all. Instead of the colored pencils, I got out the crayons. Okay, then these is off-white and white. So the off-white, the dark color goes on the left. About quit writing. Alright, see the dark color went on the left. And then the bright white goes on the right. And then you'll have your red or whatever color that you want to do. But just remember the dark goes on the left until you get to the points here. And you want to switch that up. And that just kind of gives it a better illusion and some more definition. So we put the lighter color on this side. On the left. So it's dark, dark, light. And this would be light, light, dark. So you could make this look like you could do it in yellows, you could do it whatever colors you want to do it. But I just love this one. It's red, white, and blue. Okay, there it is. Now, you pick out whatever color background that you want. And if I can find it, I'll show you this one. You'll take a screenshot of that. Alright, so this one, I used a really light gray color. It was called Silver Bullet, I think. Or Silver Feather. That's what it was. Let me get the colors and I'll show you. I used the Silver Feather on the background and I just didn't like it. And like I said, if I could find that picture, I'll insert it here. And I just didn't like it, so I came back along and painted it again with a really, really dark gray. And I don't know what the color this is because my nephew and his wife gave it to me. And that's the color of the house, their trim on their house. So I just call it J&K for Jesse and Keely. So that's the name of that gray. So you figure out, even a black would be pretty. But for my blue, I used Royal Navy. And I didn't have one that I liked for the lighter color. So I put a little bit of blue china into that Royal Navy and made that. And you can do the same thing, just make sure you're using the same color sheen. I would use the same brand myself. And both of these are semi-gloss, so I wasn't afraid of that. But make sure you mix up enough to where even if you have to throw some away or keep it for something later, but just make sure you have enough that if you need to go back over it or do touch-ups, you've got enough to do it. Alright, so my white, I used Ultra White and coconut milk. And for my reds, I used Showstopper for the dark one and Classic Red of the lighter one. And that's the divided star illusion. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I didn't confuse you when I went halfway up here, halfway up here, halfway up on the short lines, and then just connect the dots. And if it does not connect evenly, you make it do it. You go across, connect these and these, and it will cross over that line, just like it should. With my colored pencils, I was using those Sharpies, and that wasn't working out too good, so I used the colored pencils to show you this time, hoping that would be better, but I'm not so sure it was. It seemed like it got off kilter too, didn't it? Okay, thank you for joining me, and I hope you hit subscribe and like and leave me a comment if there's any other questions that you have. And I've got a few other ones that I will be doing that folks have asked me to do, and so they're on my list. And I hadn't forgot about doing that test about the heat erasable markers. I haven't forgot that. So I'll do it hopefully in the next video. And I'll talk to y'all later. Happy painting!